Good Sunday morning and welcome to Rochester in Focus. I'm Lynette Adams. June is National Home Ownership Month, a month set aside to celebrate the vital role that home ownership plays in building strong communities and empowering individuals and families to build wealth. If you're not a homeowner, the city of Rochester wants to help you become one. If you own a home, it wants to help you increase the value. I'll tell you about a special event happening this weekend, and our investigative reporter Berkeley Breen takes an in-depth look at the challenge of buying a new home in our area. Between those two things, we're talking to a woman who traveled all the way to England to train at the world-renowned British School of Excellence. It's etiquette, poise, and more at the highest level, what she's bringing back to her local program called Totally Unique. Well, this weekend, Rochester Mayor Malik Evans and the Rochester Housing Authority are joining forces. They will present a panel discussion on the benefits of increasing the value of your home. Wrapped around that, a resource fair. Joining me this morning to tell us all about it, Melissa Barron is the Director of Resident Services for the Rochester Housing Authority, and Angela Rollins is the Director of the Mayor's Office of Financial Empowerment. Welcome to both of you. Nice to have you on Rochester in Focus.
Thank you so much for having us.
So let's start by talking about this powerful panel discussion that I'm hearing about. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so we're going to be having the Housing Council at Pathstone with us. We're going to have our assessor's office. We're going to have folks from the city talking about weatherization programs and ways to maintain and increase the value of your home. And so we're really excited. We're also going to have Just Cause there providing information about how to get a will in place so that you can pass on your home to your family eventually. And so we're really excited about just bringing all of these different resources together.
One of the other guests I noticed, Dr. Cheryl McKeever. She's going to talk about generational wealth and how to build it. Talk about the connection between home ownership and generational wealth.
Yep. So we know that historically owning a home has been the greatest way to build generational wealth. And unfortunately, with the history of redlining, we see a lot of communities that have been excluded over the last few decades from that opportunity. And so we have been really, really focused on that over the last few years about how we can make sure that our city residents have access to that opportunity.
Talk about this partnership between the City of Rochester and the Rochester Housing Authority. I didn't know the Housing Authority was in the business of helping people buy homes.
Yes, so our mission at the Housing Authority is to do more than to be a housing resource for our families. We really try to prioritize providing all kinds of assistance to our families. And one of the things we do is prioritize helping them to build some generational wealth. And we do that by allowing them to the homeownership option, so they can actually use their voucher assistance to purchase a home. Last year we had 20 families who used that assistance to purchase a home. So we're really excited about that. Also 6 families this year have already closed on homes.
Wow, that is so exciting. So you can use the voucher program to become a homeowner?
You absolutely can.
Wow.
Yes, you can.
How does that work?
So it's the same way as you do in the rental program. And the great thing about using the voucher program for homeownership assistance is people are aware that there is no set term of assistance for folks who are in the rental program, but for homeownership assistance, the term ends in 15 years. So it's just 15 years of mortgage assistance, and after that, families are on their own, but they've built up 15 years of equity in a home. So we're really excited and happy to help our families on their way to building some generational wealth.
Absolutely. That seems like something that is doable.
Yes.
You know, if you don't have money saved, if you don't have the best credit necessarily, over this period of time, you can save the money, build credit, do whatever you need to do.
Yes, and this is why we partner with the City of Rochester, because they're a great resource for our families. We've had families working through the Financial Empowerment Center who've been able to work on their finances, their credit, lower their debt, so they're ready to start that homeownership journey. And those are the resources that they'll be able to access if they come to this fair on June 29th.
Okay, so let's talk about value. What are some of the things people may learn about the value of their home? How can you increase the value?
Yeah, so our city assessor will be there on the panel, and so I think he can speak a lot to the different trends that he sees on how to increase the value of your home. Yeah.
They talk about location, location, location. They talk about the color of your house. Yeah. So if people come out this weekend, they'll be able to learn some of those tricks and tips.
Yep, absolutely. And we'll also have folks there talking about different state programs and city programs related to weatherizing your home, which is also a way to increase the value of your property.
And energy efficiency as well.
Yeah, energy efficiency is a great thing, and there's lots of state programs that will help families who may not be able to afford those energy efficiency improvements, but there are state dollars that might be able to assist you. So you have to come into the fair so you can find those resources.
One of the things, this past week we had a story about renters. 60% of people in the city of Rochester are renters.
Yes.
Only 40% own homes. Why?
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
I think we have to do a better job at making sure people understand that there are ways to access homeownership. Access is the key. And then also wraparound services for people who are not ready yet. So one of the things we do at the Housing Authority is let people know that we're there for them to walk them through the process. So some people will come in, they're ready in 3 months. Some people are ready in a year. Some people are ready in 2 years. Some people are ready in 5 years. We're there for them through that entire process. And I think as we have, great services like we do with our partnership with the City of Rochester, we can get families through that process, walk them down the line, and get them to closing. And as we do that, you'll see those numbers improve. You'll see that increase. One of the, I would say, the Housing Authority, and definitely the goal of the Mayor's Office of
Financial Empowerment.
Office of Financial Empowerment is to increase that homeownership number in the city of Rochester.
So if people are watching this, they're thinking, boy, I don't even know where to start. I don't know if I would be eligible. My credit's decent, but I don't have a lot of money saved. Are banks looking for, are lenders looking for big down payments still?
I think it really depends on the loan product. And so part of my office, we oversee our Financial Empowerment Center, which provides free one-on-one financial counseling. And our counselors are really trained on the different grants and products available to first-time home buyers. And so definitely come down to the fair and meet our counselors. That would be a great opportunity to see what are the resources available, because you don't actually need 20% often.
That's good news. And there are people who can work with you on your credit. So
Yes.
you really can, if you're not going through a program like the one with the Rochester Housing Authority, there are other ways to become home buyer ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people can come this weekend and learn all about that.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, great. We want to give you the information, the panel discussion, the powerful panel discussion as we've heard, and the resource fair are this weekend during Maximize Your Home Value. It's this Saturday from 10 until 1 at East High School. It is free to attend, but you have to register. You can do that by going to cityofrochester.gov/Sweet Home Value. Just go there for information and to register. Free, but you have to register. Thank you so much for coming on and talking about this. It certainly creates so many opportunities for people in our community to become homeowners.
Thank you. Thank you
so much.
Yes.
And there's lots of room. Well, our next guest set out to help people learn to model and to prepare for pageants and the like, but she's taken her personal development business international. I'll explain when Rochester in Focus returns. Welcome back. My next guest, Dr. Pamela Brown-Grinion, has a passion for bringing out the best in you. That's why she initially launched a modeling etiquette program that helped individuals get ready for pageants. But over the years, over the last 30 years to be exact, her company, Totally Unique, has grown in ways she never imagined. Welcome to you. Nice to have you back.
Thank you so much. It is a pleasure to be here.
You're fresh. Thank you. You're fresh from London. I'm excited. I want to get right into, you just got back not too long ago from a trip to London.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about that in a second, but just introduce people to Totally Unique. What's it all about?
Well, Totally Unique is an organization where individuals can come to learn how to become the best versions of themselves. And that may be through manners and etiquette, or that may be through personal coaching and development. So it's a place where you come and you hone your skills so that you can put your best foot forward and be the person that you aspire to become.
Now, I know you were here not too long ago, but just remind us of why you decided to start Totally Unique.
I decided to start Totally Unique because I always wanted to help young ladies that may have come from disadvantaged backgrounds like myself, and I wanted them to understand that now the barrier has been removed. So if they say, well, I don't have anybody there for me, or I don't know how to get that information, I don't have access to it, I wanted to provide that access.
Now, you talk about your own background. Share a little bit of your story.
Well, I grew up with very humble beginnings in a single family home, and personal development was not at the forefront. It was pretty much survival of the fittest. It was, you know, a home with a mom, myself and my 4 siblings, and my mom did the best that she could with what she had. And I just knew that when I became older, I wanted to provide or have access to more resources for myself and my children. And so I decided to educate myself and learn other skills that weren't taught in my home, but skills that I knew that would open the door for me and other people.
Excellent. So let's talk about London, England.
Yes.
You were invited there. Tell us where you went and what you did.
I was invited by the top etiquette school in the world, the British School of Excellence, and I was invited to be a guest presenter at the Train the Trainer program for aspiring etiquette and personal development consultants. And my role there was to present on youth development and best practices for youth development.
So they were learning from you and you were learning from them.
Exactly.
How did that come about?
Well, it was, I attended this program actually last October because I wanted to have a formal certification in etiquette and personal development coaching. And so I had looked up this program, I don't know, it could be 15 years easily. Actually, a girlfriend of mine found it for me, but I couldn't do it at the time because I was in school. And then once I finished school, I said, I'm going to go ahead and just jump in and get my certification. And from there, the relationship between myself and Mr. Philip Sykes just kind of blossomed into a sort of partnership, if you will.
So let's talk about manners and etiquette. I know that that's what you spent your time working on. You know, I just wonder, is this something that people are still concerned about? Are people still concerned about etiquette and making sure to have the best manners, whether we're talking professionally or personally?
Well, people aren't as concerned as they should be, I'll say that. But from my dissertation, I've proven in the study that I did that once introduced early, that etiquette, manners, life skills, providing those things to young people when they're young in age, it produces benefits for them civically, professionally, personally, educationally, academically. So we should be more concerned than we are.
Mm-hmm. But I often hear people saying civility is gone. There is no such thing as civility. Would you agree with that?
Well, for some people, yes and no. For some people, people tend to think that good behavior and just respecting people are traits that have gone out the window. But I believe in not just treating people the way that I want to be treated. I believe in treating people in the way that they want to be treated. Mm-hmm. And so with that, that is what I also teach at Totally Unique. It's how do you tap into your social emotional skills? How do you tap into your emotional intelligence so that you can understand and be able to identify how people want to be treated and then execute that type of behavior.
And I know that you have a holistic approach. It's not just about manners, it's not just about etiquette, but much more, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. The way I think about it is this. I can teach anybody how to set a table, Lynette. Mm-hmm. I can teach anybody, this is where your stemware goes, this is where your flatware goes. I can teach you how to not chew with your mouth. I can teach anybody that. But I think the crux of it is being able to help people remove their rocks out of their garden, so to speak. Because to me, it makes no sense to hone people on the outside when they have so much emotional brokenness on the inside. So my goal is to touch people and have those pinpoints that will extrapolate those things that are doing them no good on the inside because I can't plant seeds on stone. So I like to help people remove the rocks out of their garden so that I can deal with the soil, and then I can start to plant those good things and help them to understand that their beauty comes from the inside. And if you can hone the inside first, then that outward beauty will shine even the more.
And you are opening this up to a general audience. You started a podcast. Tell
Absolutely.
us about that.
So the podcast is called Grace and Grind, and primarily it's for, I won't say the younger generation, but I would say anyone between the millennial age and older. And the whole purpose of the podcast is to help women that may be identifying with imposter syndrome in the workplace or having difficulty code switching or assimilating or acclimating to the workplace. It's a place where they can tap in and get information and be empowered and become educated on how do you embrace your femininity, how do you embrace your elegance and grace, and how to not abandon that because you want to be a boss. And so the podcast empowers females to know that you can have the best of both worlds. You don't have to choose. You can be a boss, and you can also identify with your feminine traits as a lady.
Wow, that is powerful. So do you have classes? Can people sign up for some of what you're talking about?
Absolutely. So I'm actually launching my new schedule July 1st, and you'll be able to access everything on my website to get the information. It'll also be on my social media. So you'll be able to find me as long as you search Totally Unique or Grace and Grind Podcast. It will be there too.
You've been at this for 30 years.
I have.
Is it worth it?
You know, this is my life's work, and yes, it is, because I'm able to see the lives of individuals change. It's absolutely worth it. I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
All right. Well, that says it all. Well, if you'd like to get in touch with Dr. Brown-Grenion at Totally Unique, the phone number is on the screen there. It's 454-9827. That's the office number. You can also reach her by email at totallyunique.com. And the website is www.totallyunique, and that's YOUNIQU.com. Thank you so much for being here today. We can all use a little bit more civility and kindness.
Absolutely, I totally agree.
All right. Rochester in Focus will be right back. Coming up, if you want to become a homeowner and you're ready to buy, you may be facing another problem. Chief Investigative Reporter Berkeley Breen explains next. Thank you for staying with us. Now to a News 10 NBC investigation.
You feel pretty terrible. You feel hopeless that it's never going to be your turn.
And that is buyer's remorse and a lopsided Rochester housing market. Here's the new what's happening in this lopsided seller's market. Real estate agents told us the market needs somewhere between 700 and 1,000 homes to go on the market in one day to keep things balanced. That bears repeating, 700 to 1,000 homes up for sale in one day. That would be every single home in this housing tract along Spencerport Road and Gates going up for sale in a single day, and then double it. Chief Investigative Reporter Berkeley Breen went to that neighborhood to look at a house that is on the market.
We are ready for hosting big family parties and events. We need more space.
Jessica Coleman and her husband David are looking for something of their own. They married 3 years ago, and they've rented a tiny home in Fairport for 4 years. They are first-time home buyers, but so far the market has shut them out.
How many offers have you made so far?
I believe we're up to 6.
And every single time, not picked?
Correct.
Did there come a time when you offered more than what you were comfortable offering just because you knew the market is so tough?
Yes. There were several times that we put in offers for much over the asking price, knowing that we may have to get another job on top of what we currently have.
This market is crazy, but you have to know how to deal with the crazy.
Natalie Valenti is Jessica's agent. And part of her job is to be therapist.
It's a roller coaster ride. They get excited, they find a house they want. Okay, we're going to put an offer in. Oh, they're hoping for the best. And then I have to make that phone call. Sorry, we didn't get this one.
Here's an example of where the cost of an average home used to be and where it is now. 10 years ago in Hilton, a 1,500 square foot home with 4 bedrooms and 2 baths went for $168,000. Today, it sells for $260,000. 10 years ago, that same house in Penfield sold for $182,000. Today, the price is $349,000.
You feel pretty terrible. You feel hopeless that it's never going to be your turn. But then the next day you realize that you have to keep going and you keep trying.
Berkeley Bree, News 10 NBC.
So let's put this all in perspective. Burke tells us in the first week of June, in the 8 counties around Rochester, 40 houses went on the market. And again, the market needs about 700 to 1,000. So as you just heard that homeowner say, don't give up. Keep looking for that house. Rochester in Focus will be right back. Stay with us. A big thank you to all of our guests today. And if you would like to be a guest on Rochester in Focus, we'd love to hear from you and we'd love to have you. You can contact News 10 NBC at 232-1010 or email us at RIF or RIF at WHEC.com. And that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, have a great week.